Hello everyone, I'm Esther Vaida and welcome to Hometown Talents and Treasures. I'm joined with Cheryl Murnane, who just published her first book during the fall, an inspirational love story. Cheryl, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
What made you write this book?
Well, as a little child, a little girl, I always dreamed about writing, and for various reasons told myself over the course of my life that I couldn't do it. And after reading my favorite story, On the Island by Tracy Garvers Graves, I decided that it was time to stop telling myself I couldn't do it and do it.
Cheryl, what's the book about?
The book is about life's journeys and learning from life. There's two characters in the book that find each other in high school. They marry their high school sweethearts. Premise of not being in control of our own lives and having a higher power sort of guiding us comes into play when we allow life to lead us where it leads us instead of forcing it to bring us where we think we should go. The characters are challenged and they grow. There is always going to be struggling characters in my stories with room to grow and improve.
What an important lesson to allow your higher power to let you go. Personally, when in your life was that a factor?
I would say it happened shortly after I lost my grandmother in 2007. I always knew she was a spiritual woman who prayed. It wasn't until she was on her deathbed that I really got to experience and witness the love that she had for life and for prayer. And it's something that it really impacted me, that I now carry with me. And maybe I should let everyone know this is a scarf that I was able to take from her after she passed, so she's still with me today.
What part of your real life, besides this understanding and this belief that there is a higher ground, plays into this book?
You write what you know, and there are elements of my life in the book, although it is not an autobiography, although some people that know me well think it might be. I sort of created these two characters based on scenarios or stories that I had heard about through various clients. The fear that many women have over losing their husbands. I saw and lost my uncle at a young age, and as did I have friends that lost their fathers, and knowing that we wouldn't see them again, but that keeping the feeling that they are still with us.
What part has spirituality played into you writing this book?
Well, for one, I never got writer's block like so many authors do. I took that as an opportunity to open myself up to prayer and allow space for God to work in my presence, to allow me to have the words to put on paper. I feel like it was a story I needed to tell at that point in my life that I was living. I have always had a belief in a higher power. I've always had circumstances happen in my life that I believed were put there to help grow me, even if I didn't necessarily approve of it at the time, but then in hindsight recognized that it was for my better. Even the salon that we're currently sitting in, I had reached out and wanted the space and was told it wasn't available, and I prayed for it. I walked away from it. I gave it space to be, and then a month later I got a phone call saying that the other deal had fallen through, and that if I wanted it, it was mine.
And now you have your own space, and you do hair.
I do hair.
You've done hair your whole life.
Yes,
I've known you
yeah.
your whole life. You've done hair and makeup, and but your love for writing is new for me. So
yeah, it was sort of a private part of my life. I've always journaled. I've always written letters. I love expressing myself in words. I love words. My husband jokes that I have my own dictionary because I often will combine words together because I get so excited when I explain or sort of, tell a story. But my salon is my first passion. However, writing was a private passion that Well, just, like everything in life, it was time for it to become, for the world to experience along with me, so.
Where do you do most of your writing?
Well, during the fall was written in my house. The majority of it was written in my sun porch, which is my happy place in the sun. I also wrote some of it in my office. I have a very comfortable desk in my living room that I will sit and write in. So most of it was written, in my home, in my special places.
What's the message you hope people get from this book?
This book is an opportunity for people to kind of question where they're going in their lives. I've had many of my readers tell me that after reading the book, they were changed, that it expressed to them areas in their lives where they could be more open. One of them said that they would like to take away from it to be more forgiving of their husband and to allow him in their life more and try to carve out special time for their relationship. Another client had mentioned that it really made her think how she lives her life and what she ranks as important. And it's an opportunity to feel good about reading a book.
What do you say to people who may perhaps think that this is a religious book?
To them, I would say it's more of a philosophy than it is a religious book. The idea that we can put ourselves in a state of living that we're not in control and allow the universe, more so than a god or a religion, to rule us, but to allow the universe to give us what we need, to supply us with what we need. And when you start forcing something in life, it's sort of a time to take a step back and reevaluate why we are pushing and forcing. And oftentimes, in that space, the answers will come. So it's a more of a philosophy of living rather than a religious take on my life or my views of religion.
What have you learned about yourself in this process?
I'm tough.
Yes, you are.
You can sling it at me and I will still come out smelling like a rose. I can take it. I can take the criticism. I can take the opinions of others, and I've learned I'm a very confident person and that it doesn't matter what other people think of me.
Because when you write a book like this, you put yourself out there, and,
Yes.
and a true test of you as a person. I think this is a very powerful message to mostly women.
Yes, it's definitely for geared towards women. There's been a lot in my life that I've learned that's taught me that I've been able to be open to, learning that what other people think of us is truly none of our business.
I love that.
People will always have opinions. They will. It's part of breathing.
Yeah.
But when you take on what other people tell you that you are, then you're not living your full life and living up to your fullest potential. So I knew putting something like this out there that there would be critics and that not everyone would like it, and I don't expect everyone to like it. I wrote it for me, basically. I wrote it for the readers that were looking for an inspirational story to give them faith that they can get through life when it's challenging, and that there's always a silver lining. No matter how bad things are in your life, there's always something to be positive and hopeful about. So I was in a 5th grade class doing a speaking engagement at my daughter's school, and a little boy raised his hand and said, "Why do you write about love?" And I said to him, "Because love is all there is. If we all hated each other, where would we be in this world?" And he just started laughing, and all the boys went, "Ew, gross!" But it's the truth. Without love, there would be no life, there would be no world. So if we can all learn to love each other, we can have a good, positive message.
Absolutely
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Let me just ask you about your kids.
Yes.
2 kids. Look at you
Two
beam
children.
up.
Oh yeah, my 2 children.
How do you
they're
balance running a store,
Yeah.
writing a book, 2 kids, a husband?
AAA personality.
I witnessed this. I've known this for a long time.
Yeah. It's priorities. You know, my children are very important between the hours of 7 and 8:30, and once I get them off to school, my time to write kicks in. And it's the dedication to it, the commitment. I care about it so much that I give it time. I allow space in my life to write because it fills me like nothing else has ever filled me. When I write and I come up with a concept or an idea, I'm high-fiving myself and you know, patting myself on the back. Good job, good job. But you know, at 3 when my kids come home, they're my focus, and then the stories go away for the night, you know, to be picked up the next morning. And then my husband, he's just super supportive, and he told me just recently when I compared what I do to sitting at home eating bonbons and watching movies all day because it's just so much fun, that it makes his day to come home to a wife that's smiling.
Oh.
So the support that I have from my family allows me to be able to carve out the time to do what I do.
Oh, beautiful.
And the salon. My clients, they're just great. They support me because I think they've been with me for so long. They're so proud of me.
I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, is there going to be another book, another sequel?
There's not a sequel, but there is a second book that's already been written. It is waiting for some editing services. Hopefully spring 2015 it should be out. And it's a different take. There's less spirituality in it. The spirituality kind of goes into the background of the story. I feel like it's a richer story. There's 3 characters. I think it's going to be a good one.
Well, thank you so much for being on Hometown Talents and Treasures.
Thank you for having me.
The book is During the Fall, and it's on Amazon, Kindle, where else?
Nook, Kobo, and more information can be found on my website.
CherylMurnane.com.
Yes.
That's our show. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.